Hey, everybody, welcome back. Let me make sure we've got everything going here real quick. Let's see. Just checking. Let's see. I think we got it. Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back to How Do You Lead? Let's see. Comments. Yes, we are live. Welcome back to How Do You Lead, our Management Styles Masterclass. We are here in Clarity Mastermind on our day 2 of this masterclass, bringing you guys brand new content again here in the end of March, our first masterclass of the year. And I am so excited to be here with you guys. I know I've got like my lippy lip on and, my suit jacket. I had an event at work today, and so I had to go in, and it was kind of like this business thing that I needed to be at. So this is Angela in work clothes. What's funny is like a lot of times my work now even is they've kind of implemented this new rule of dress for your day. I know this is kind of a tangent, but I just really think how progressive it is that my company is all about doing what's right for the employees, and I feel like they've kind of come a long way in what they're doing, and it's really exciting to see that. So normally I get to go to work in like jeans and a nice shirt or something, but today I was in business, not really business casual, business attire for the event I was at, but it's nice to get my suit back on from time to time. So, again, welcome back to our masterclass. This is our second day, our second session. I remember there's only really 2 full sessions. Tomorrow is a bonus session I'm adding, which is optional, and I'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end today. I do have a few announcements, and I talked about a couple of them yesterday, but I wanted to remind everybody, if you're local here in the North Texas area, we're having a networking event for Clarity Mastermind. And it's an event in the Clarity Mastermind Facebook group. So if you're not in there, go there right now. This is actually being multi-streamed in Clarity Mastermind right now, in addition to into my YouTube channel. So those are the 2 places that it's being streamed right now. Okay. So that's the first announcement. The second is I told you guys that we're opening up a couple of opportunities. So the first one I want to talk about, but it's not quite ready yet, but I still want to bring it up so you are aware that it's coming. So last May, we launched a retreat, and it turned out that it was kind of bad timing. However, there was quite a bit of interest for it. So we are working on rescheduling that, and it's looking like mid-September. Now, this retreat is a very small group. It's going to be no more than 8 to 10 people, probably more like 8. And it's one-on-one time with me. I actually have my dear friend Courtney Koenig that's going to be there too, helping with um, human design, and which is kind of like a personality quiz, to kind of learn what your strengths are and what really would help you if you leaned into them, how this leaning into those strengths, how it will really help you be more authentic and be yourself. And she's going to be there along for the entire retreat. And then I'm going to have some other really exciting folks that are going to help me out too with some other things. One of them is my dear friend Kim McClure, who is also in this group, has agreed to support the retreat with all of her style tips and wardrobe edits. And she can look at body shape and tell you exactly what you should be wearing, looking at your coloring and what colors would work great with you. She's fantastic. She helps me out with these things all the time. She helps out tons of people with this all the time. All right. So those are just a few of the people who are going to be there supporting this retreat. And I'm so excited about it. But it's really about transformation. It's about taking you from where you are to where you want to be, and basically condensing probably like 6 months of work into 3 days. That's really what it is. That's the beautiful thing about these face-to-face events. It's really small. You get to network with other people who are also leveling up in what they're doing. And you really do take fast action to change and transform very quickly in a very short period of time. It really does condense time. So I'm super excited about that. More details to come on that, but I wanted to just give you guys a little bit of taste of what's coming with that retreat, and just know that it's coming up probably in the mid-September timeframe. We're targeting September 21st through the 24th. We had a venue nailed down, and it's not looking like it's going to work now for multiple reasons. So we're looking for a new venue, and hopefully within a few weeks or so, we'll be rolling that out, the registration for that as well. Okay. The last thing I have for announcement is I do have some new one-on-one coaching openings coming up. So I just finished up some 6-month one-on-one coaching sessions, and now I have some additional spots available on my calendar. So the other part of this is that I've really enjoyed some of the one-on-one coaching I've been doing lately, that I really feel drawn back to that. You guys know that I did my group coaching program for about a year and a half, and I've kind of put that on hold for a couple of reasons. One, because you guys know with my corporate job, I've been traveling quite a bit. But this other thing is that I've been doing a lot of one-on-one coaching lately that really I feel like I'm thriving in it, and I feel like my clients are thriving, and I feel like it's getting back to kind of, that introvert side of me, where you get that intimate time one-on-one, a lot like the retreat, right? Where you get customized support. And um, now that, like I said, many of my one-on-one clients are kind of finishing up their pieces. One of them is actually moving on to do another session of one-on-one coaching with me. But I kind of feel like it's time to bring in more clients to get that feeling again. Not feeling again, that's probably not the right word for it, but I think you know what I mean. I feel really drawn back to this. I'm loving seeing the transformations that I'm doing, working with everybody one-on-one, and just it's I'm not even like I'm losing my words here for what to even say about it, other than it's really filling me up because I get to see how other people are transforming through it. And when we're talking about things, anything from working with a difficult customer, working with difficult coworkers, responding to a recent undesirable performance review and how to deal with that, how to respond to it, what kinds of things can you do professionally about it. I recently worked with somebody on how to get more visibility into what they were working on, because they were having issues with some things, and they were having a breakdown in communication with their management, who was also having breakdown in communication with the executive management, and it was not turning out well. And working on how to communicate with executives effectively, which is things that I've worked on a lot in my 20 plus years of my career. I was recently talking to someone on how do they get into some leadership programs at their company. What are the things they can do to work that process? Even some things we kind of tagged onto another one-on-one conversation not that long ago on how to just do some simple time management tools that they could implement immediately. And I'm just floored at how in just a 30-minute session to a 1-hour session that I'm having with these clients, they are having changes that are implemented immediately, and they're seeing it in just a single session. I'm like floored at all of the transformation that they're getting in just a single session for 30 to 60 minutes. So I've decided to continue to focus on the one-on-one coaching, and I love that there's time in my calendar to do it, and I really just feel like this is the passion that I have right now. I'm really driven to help more people make a difference in themselves, in their lives, in their families' lives, and then the legacy that they're leaving based on the changes and transformations that they're having. So what does this look like? It's going to be 55-minute session, so just under an hour, because I have work to do right before and then right after. For 4 months, there's going to be 2 basically hour sessions a month for 4 months. It's a much lower investment than what I've had in the past. So I'm kind of giving you guys a break because I really want this to be available for more of you than maybe would have been in the past. And in the past, my VIP sessions where you could get one-on-one support also came with access to my 6-month group coaching program. So this is not that. This is just the 2 sessions a month for almost an hour for the next 4 months. Excuse me. And like I said, I really wanted this to be accessible to more people because I really think more people could really benefit from this one-on-one experience with me. And we're digging through what you need real time as it comes up. And we're meeting at least twice a month. Okay. So the investment for this 8 sessions over the 4 months for about an hour a piece is the investment for paying in full is only $2,000. So 4 months for $2,000 with one-on-one time with me. The other way you can actually get started is you can get started with just a payment of $525 and then make monthly payments through the 4 months that we do it. So it's really not that much of a difference, honestly, of the 4 payments of $525 versus a single payment in full of $2,000. The investment is fairly low, especially considering my one-on-one coaching used to be anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 between the 3 to 6 month options. So this is a significantly less investment to get the one-on-one time with me and still get the transformation. And honestly, it's amazing just how much I'm seeing people change in this short period of time when you get an unbiased opinion of someone to look at what you got going on, lean on her experience to help you work through some of the things that you need to help working through. It's kind of interesting how like a lot of my one-on-one support that I've been doing lately is really more business coaching instead of life coaching. My first year and a half in my coaching program was really more life coaching. How do you balance all of the things? There's still some of that conversation. Like I said, there's still some time management skills that people are asking for, which you guys know I'm like the queen of time, time management. But I'm just loving seeing the results that we're doing. So if you feel drawn to something like this and this offer, all you have to do is drop the word coach below and my team will get you some information. Y'all know, like I said earlier, I'm an introvert and I really cherish this small group time. So that's part of the reason why I'm, setting up this retreat so I can have small group time. And I'm offering up more one-on-one coaching because I love this intimate time where we get to deep dive into what you need. I get to see your movement and change quickly. And I get to provide you with concentrated, support provided directly to you. I do want to note that these are going to be Zoom calls. There's Zoom calls with just you and me. You get to keep them forever. I'm going to send you a place where they're all going to reside. And I will actually send you a recap of notes with homework actions after the one-on-one coaching sessions. So you're going to have all of that provided to you all within this same investment of, like I said, $525 for each month, or you can save $100 and do the pay in full for an investment of just $2,000. So both are great options. Again, if this sounds like something that is of interest to you, and it now feels like it's a price point that you can invest in, just drop the word coach in the comments and my team will help you out. So I'm really looking forward to spending more time with a few of you and serving you guys where I really feel like you need it most. And honestly, sometimes you just need, like I said, some unbiased feedback where someone else can look into you and see the greatness in you and help pull that out. And a lot of times it's really just small tweaks that we're going to make to really see some remarkable change in what you need. Excuse me. And I'm just really honored that I get the option and the ability to do this with you all. So I just want you to know that you're more than worthy of this investment in yourself. And if that sounds like something that you struggle with, we should probably have a quick chat about whether or not it's a good fit for you. Okay. Because I know you're worthy of this. All right. So again, drop the word coach in the comments below, and my team will reach out to you to help you out with more information on the upcoming one-on-one coaching sessions that are open. So let's dive right into session 2 to get started here on how do you apply these styles. Because yesterday we talked about an introduction to management styles, and what's the definition of management styles? What's the difference between leadership and management? And then we gave multiple examples of what management styles are. But when you're choosing the best management style, it's really important for you to, determine which style resonates with you. And that's the first blank we have here. Which style resonates best with your personality and your business. And then the decision at hand. How is it applicable to your decision at hand? There's going to be times where you're actually going to use all of the styles at some point. Sorry, I need to adjust this. I feel like I'm out of office space here. Move this right back. Okay. So I can hang on to my notes at the same time. But the other thing that's really important, not just determining what resonates most with you, but having some self-awareness about your strengths and weaknesses and where your employees' strengths are in order to determine the most beneficial method to reach a final decision with whoever you're working with. When you think about this, whenever I build a team, I look for people who are going to help me with my opportunities, not necessarily my strengths, to fill those gaps that I may have. I look for employees to help round out the team. And that's what I'm looking for whenever I'm picking my management style, because I need someone who has some things in common with me. Like I like to run fast. I like to run for some hard goals, but someone that may be like more detail oriented, because I like to sit in the strategy space. I need someone to sit in a more detail oriented space, so we work together. But you have to know more about you before you can make those decisions on how to apply these things. The third thing that I really wanted to talk about is communication. So whenever you have a new group or you have new employees, it's really important to talk to them about what your style is, maybe your main style, and talk about how you implement that. And the most important thing is to tell them what part they play. If you have an autocratic style, then maybe you need to let them know, look, when I say something, I need you to just follow orders, because that's what it's going to be like. Say, if you were a military leader, that's how the military works. It's an autocratic management style, but you have to be able to explain that. And sometimes you're going to have to take charge whenever it's essential. And then there's other times when you just need to delegate tasks whenever possible, but always make sure that you have the team on the same page. That's the most important part, is the communication of it. Okay. So I want to talk about some ways that you can apply these management styles. So I've got a few bullets in here. And again, just like yesterday, you can fill in what you want, keep what you want, whatever details really stand out for you. But I have 6 different things that I really wanted to chat about. The first one being recognizing your individual differences. So the first bullet here, recognizing the individual differences of your employees and of your team is really important, because you may have to use multiple styles of management for each of them. This is no different if you're a parent than how you manage your children. How do you train up your children? How do you parent your children? You probably parent them all differently. I parent all of mine differently, for sure. Mine are all 3 of my boys are very different, and they have to be parented differently. Management styles could be the same way. You may have to flex for each of your employees, or maybe for groups of your employees, especially if you're a leader of leaders. You may have to give, manage in one way for your leaders, and then a little bit differently for some of their subordinates whenever you're kind of having like an all hands type of situation. But you need to use situational management basically to adapt to each person's individual needs. The second thing I really want to talk about again is communication. We talked about it a little bit about choosing your best management style, but it's important that whenever you are implementing effective management styles, that you over communicate. You have to really be clear and concise and approachable with your team, and encourage them open communication and listen actively, because that's how you're going to determine whether or not the management style you're using is being effective. So communication by talking, but also communication by stop talking and listening, whether or not you can check and see if what you're transmitting is actually being received. So communication is huge for everything, right? So it's probably a no-brainer why I put it on this list as well. The third thing on here is motivation. So to motivate your team to work hard to achieve their goals, you may have to use different management styles. Maybe using the democratic management style will help you get your team involved by, you know, soliciting their decision, how they would make a decision to bring them into the group. You could use autocratic management style to set clear goals and expectations as well. See how you can like flex both of those at the same time. You could put boundaries around what feedback you want from them, and then use democratic style to incorporate what they are providing. So another thing so the fourth bullet we have here is encouraging teamwork. You guys, we talked yesterday about laissez-faire management style to empower your team and to do some delegating. Y'all know that's me. I am not 100% laissez-faire because I don't just drop everything for everybody and let them run wild, because everybody needs something different. Newer employees may need a little more guidance on, what do I expect at the beginning? What is expected from the company of them? Those types of things that they may need autocratic direction on them of these are the rules that we follow. This is the process we follow. So I need you to follow within this. However, beyond that, you have creative freedom. And that's kind of the laissez-faire. This is how you empower people to kind of take their own spin on things. And you have to remind yourself that if you struggle with giving someone so much direction to do it exactly the way you would do it, you're not empowering them. You are telling them exactly what you want. They might as well do it themselves. That leader or manager might as well do it themselves. If they have to give you every single detail for it, they might as well just do the work themselves, because it's not encouraging or empowering your team. Okay. So the fifth bullet I have here is also about empowerment. We talked about, providing feedback. The fifth one is providing feedback. And in that case, you really ought to consider situational management again to provide feedback tailored to each individual's needs. People need constructive feedback. People don't always like it, but they need constructive feedback, specific feedback, timely feedback, and actionable feedback. I got feedback in my last performance appraisal that I'm going to tell you was a complete waste of breath and time. It was a little annoying because my boss gave me some feedback from a trip we took in December to Israel and what he expected at that event and what he didn't see. And my response was, thank you for the feedback. However, that feedback would have been more valuable last December at the moment it happened if you wanted some different result. Telling me this 3 months later is of no benefit. That's like kicking your dog 2 weeks after they peed on the floor. They have no idea why you just disciplined them. Not that I recommend kicking any dog. I don't. Any animal whatsoever. But you get my point, right? If the feedback is not timely and specific and actionable, meaning what would you prefer they do differently the next time would be the actionable part and specific part. It's really of no benefit if you don't have those three parts to it. So providing feedback really helps. Again, being more specific to each person really helps you implement your management style. That's something that I use pretty regularly, but not everybody else does it really well. Giving feedback takes courage because you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. You want to say things delicately, but also with intention and with meaning, but it's hard to balance it. I get it. But that is one application of management styles, giving feedback. There's a lot of different ways to do it, and you're going to have to find out which way you can implement feedback with your management style by employee, probably. So the last thing I have for you is building onto encouraging your team and teamwork is to empower your team. Like I said, using a democratic management style to empower your team by delegating tasks and responsibilities is going to make them feel that more confident in their abilities, and it's going to allow your team members to develop new skills. The example I always use whenever I talk about delegating, I love delegating. If you've been with me for more than 5 minutes, you know I love delegating. I love delegating things that are repeated kind of like a business tempo, reports and things like that. We have a weekly situational report that we write every week. And I always delegate that to one of my younger employees for two reasons. One, because it's something they're capable of. Okay, maybe three reasons. Another reason is it's extremely low risk. If they mess it up, it's no big deal. We can fix it the next week and they'll learn it really quickly. The third thing is it gives them exposure to the entire team's work. So if you bring in a new employee and they're brought in for this specific thing on a team that's a big team, whenever they can pull together that weekly report, they get to see what other people on the team are doing in addition to my view of what the business is doing. They get that by pulling together that weekly report of what's been going on across the team. They're learning something. It's low risk for me to delegate it. And what was the first one I said? I can't remember now. Shoot. I totally lost it, spaced it out. Menopause brain. Anyways, my point is it gives them more confidence in their own skills. They get to learn more about the business. I think that was the first one. So those are the 6 things that are ways of applying these management styles across your team, across the company, across your direct sales team, across your soccer team. You could be delegating who's bringing the juice boxes next week at the next game on the soccer team. So all of these things are ways that you can apply management styles to just about any organization. But I think the key here, though, is in the end, there's really no one size fits all to management and how you implement it. You really just have to be flexible and just approach applying your management style, adaptable to whatever situation or the needs of your team members. And just keep working at it. That's really the bottom line is keep working at it. And every time you change to group, different group, you're going to be flexing again. The group I work with now is different than the group I worked with just before this, which is even more different than the group I worked with before that. And even before that, just about every team I have, there's a different kind of mix of what your team needs from you. And that's probably another good point that I should have wrote down on the notes here is applying management styles isn't as much about you as it is about your team. Your team, what they need from you is what you need to give them. I'll say it again. What your team needs from you is more important than what you need. It really is more about how you are serving them. They are not serving you. There it is again. It's about time for bed. All right. So just keep working about it. And then the bottom line here I wrote down is when you grow by flexing your management style and working on your management style, team by team, person by person, then your team is going to grow and they're going to get better whenever you apply these different applications we talked about today on how you empower your team, provide feedback to them, encourage the teamwork, provide motivation, over communicate, and recognizing their individual differences and how you're going to apply differently to each of them. When you grow, they're going to grow, and then the team's going to thrive. You'll notice I didn't write, you'll always succeed because that's nirvana. And let's be honest, we don't live in nirvana. This is life. But when you grow, your team will grow. And I mean, from a development perspective, they will grow. And then all of you will thrive because of it. But it starts with you. In a lot of ways with management, maybe almost every way, it starts with you. You have to remember that. So we've reviewed different management styles yesterday. We talked about ways to apply these styles today. Now it's really time to go build a plan on how you want to implement these things. What are the steps that you're going to take to start flexing your management style? What are you going to do? I've got some things for you to work through in our session tomorrow that is completely optional. It's I wrote out a lot of it. So if you can't make it on Wednesday for the bonus session, that's no big deal. You can kind of just work through this worksheet on the next page by yourself. Or you can come to the same session tomorrow, the same time tomorrow, same place, same time. Work with it together with all of us that are on here. And like I said, it's an optional session. The third session is. And talk through, kind of think through what you're going to do next to continue to develop yourself so you can help develop your team so you can all thrive together. All right. Like I said, that's tomorrow, and I'll make some time also for Q&A about the stuff that's coming up, whether it's the networking event we have on Thursday or the retreat that we are nailing down in September, or one-on-one coaching if you've got any questions on that. Okay. All right. We're like 15 seconds over 30 minutes. I was so close. I was so close. If I didn't lose my wording at the beginning of this, we'd be done already. All right. I hope you guys have a great night. I really hope this is helpful for you. We always love your feedback on it. So if you want to comment below your feedback, we would also love your key takeaways. I hope it's this is something that was of value. And I hope you guys have a great night. And I hope to see you tomorrow at the optional session, the bonus session tomorrow night in the third session. Okay. You'll have a great night. See you tomorrow.